Good morning, everyone. John, would you mind closing the door, please? Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Rotary Thursday. It's nice to see everybody today, all these smiling faces on this side and on the Zoom side. Good morning, everyone there on the Zoom side. Can you all hear me? Can I get a thumbs up if you can? Great, fantastic. Okay, we're going to start with the invocation. And John, I meant to give you a heads up just in case, but you have the invocation today. Yes, please, perfect.
Hey, Pat, look. Cool. You bow your heads. Father God, thank you for today. Just thank you for all of us gathering here. Thank you for this Rotary Club. Thank you for the men and women in this club and for the good that we try to do each and every day in our community and in our world. And Father, just be with our family and friends that are sick and hurting. Be with our country as we go through this crisis. But Lord, just watch out over us each and every day. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
All right, thank you, John. And we're going to try something interesting today. Cynthia, who's on Zoom side, is to lead us on the pledge. So that was written. So Cynthia, if you don't mind.
Could I have the camera
If you
pan
unmute
to
yourself,
the?
please.
Can I have the camera pan
Yes.
to the flag? There it is. Okay. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, Cynthia. All right, we'll start with a couple of Zoom rules. It sounds like everybody's good on the microphone, so it looks like you all have your mics muted. So on the Zoom side, please keep your mic muted unless you have something to say, and then please feel free to unmute yourself and say it. If you chat in some comments, I'll try to get to them at some point in the meeting as well. So we'll start with some guests, and I think we have some guests. We have our guest speaker here, Jennifer Linton, and we'll hear from her in just a little bit. Do we have any other guests?
We need to say hello and welcome back to Tori.
Hi.
Hey, is Tori on there?
Yeah, me and Cody are here. We wanted to get on this morning and say thank you to everyone for your thoughts and prayers and food and help and everything. This has been an ordeal.
Thank you all so much.
To say the least. And we are more appreciative than we can even say.
Well, Tori, it's great to see you. It's great you're looking healthy, and Cody's looking good too. So just keep on the right track, and we'll see you soon enough.
Hopefully.
Thanks,
Fingers crossed. I'll be back very soon.
Okay. Do we have any other guests with us? I believe we might have a couple.
I thought I saw Pam Smith a few minutes ago.
I might not. There we go. We got Rontario's with us today. Rontario, you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rontario Hicks. I go by Ron. I'm a military veteran of 23 years. I work at Redstone Test Center. I'm a member of Madison, and I became interested because I saw the collaboration with Toastmasters, which I'm a district officer, and we talked about Rotary and the collaboration we're going to have this year. And so I wanted to come and see what the Rotary Club does. Thanks for having me.
Fantastic. Thank you for being here, Ron. It's great to see you. Again, we meet every week at about this time, and we do stuff throughout the week sometimes. So hope to see you again next week. If we do a bad job today, don't hold it against us. It's, on average, we're pretty good. So we hope to see you again next week. Thanks for joining us today, Ron. Do we have any other visitors with us today on the Zoom side?
This is Brenda. I don't know if I'm still a visitor or not, but all my information is in.
Brenda, you're working through the Rotary system?
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, and I think Emily sent you an email recently for us to set up a lunch and have your kind of orientation meeting.
Yes, she did.
She did.
Okay, okay, so we'll set that up and then soon you will no longer be a visitor. Okay. Any other visitors with us today? Okay, so we'll go ahead and any guest Rotarians? I don't know if Roger's with us on the Zoom side, Pat?
Pam Smith was supposed to be on there, and I saw her earlier, but she had another Zoom call, so she may have had to
Okay,
go to the other.
okay. Pam Smith is a Rotarian from another area who's been very engaged and she's interested in joining our club. So she was on there for a bit and she jumped off. So we look forward to seeing more from Pam
She'll
Smith.
be here next week.
Okay, that's fantastic.
And
Uh,
Peter, Dr. Davis just joined. So good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Morning, Dr. Davis. It's nice to see you again this morning.
Good morning. It's good to see everyone.
Okay, you're slowly getting to the point of not being a visitor and just being part of the gang as well. So we enjoy seeing you up there. Okay, we'll go on and move on to announcements and brags. So do we have any announcements, brags in the room? Yeah, Fred will take it. Carla, I'm gonna make you walk. I can't take the microphone to you. I'm gonna, please. Okay, I'll repeat what you say.
It's really quick. You can just-
Okay,
I'm just expecting my second grandchild. It's a little girl, and she'll be born in March, and her name is Charlotte. And that's the same thing that.
so I'm gonna try to remember all that, but Carla's ready to have her second grandchild, whose name is Charlotte, and there's no coordination with Dennis, who's also having a grandchild named Charlotte. So two different babies, different baby mamas.
I have a brag.
Go ahead, Cynthia.
Well, I've already bragged in the newsletter, but I'm going to brag again. Jude was born on Tuesday, and he is 7 pounds, 7 ounces, and he's bouncing, and it's a different name.
Hey, Jude, bringing the Beatles back. So congratulations, Cynthia. All right. Any other announcements, brags? I know some good stuff has been happening. I'll look around. Zoom side, anything big going on? You want to talk about it a little bit? Besides Tori getting better?
Hey, Peter, my dad turns 92 this week, and I get to go see him with my mask and distance.
That is awesome.
Outstanding.
That is good. Okay, we'll move over to some club business. And our first order of business, speaking of visitors, is let's turn a visitor into an official member. So Mark, Sheila, if you don't mind coming up here, we'll see how we can do this on the Zoom and get us all on camera. Fred, if you don't mind turning the camera just a little bit. And we're gonna try to social distance, I guess, since we're not wearing our masks. So I'm gonna give this to Sheila. So see if you can get us on there, Fred. Let me see if I can get in the camera. Okay. Am I in there? I know.
You have to get just a little closer.
All right. I think we're good here. So Mark has been joining our meeting since June, just a few months ago. So he's actually had great attendance, almost perfect attendance, and he even ran for mayor in the middle of it and did a great job. Me and Emily met, and Cynthia or Sheila met with Mark for a lunch. I think he's going to make a perfect fit for our club. I would say our club is a fun club. We care. We don't mind a little bit of hard work. And I think Mark, based on our lunch, is all those things. So it's a perfect fit. We're also very good looking. So another perfect fit there. So I think it's going to be
That's right.
He said he's going to wear his tux, but that's kind of Ron's thing. So, Mark, we're glad to have you in the club. I think you're going to make a great Rotarian. I know Mark's going to hit the ground running, and he's going to run our Change for Change program next month in October. So we're going to start talking about that next week. So, Mark, congratulations. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Madison. I will shake your hand. Anything you want to say?
Just, I guess I have to get close. I've been watching. Just, it is a pleasure to be here. It is a pleasure to be around other people who are thinking about their community and our world as a whole. It's an utmost pleasure. I thank Sheila for her mentorship and looking out for me and just nudging me to become more interested in finding more like-minded people like myself and ready to work. I'll be there. I'm working Saturday night tearing down, so I'm ready to go. Thank you.
And Sheila's on fire right now as far as bringing in new members. So if we could all be a little bit more like Sheila, we'd be a good club. All right. Next order of business. We had our board meeting a couple days ago. And the one noteworthy item, just so everybody knows, is I think we're going to keep our dues in Q2 at $50. Because again, we're not giving everybody the opportunity to have breakfast. We paid enough in dues the last quarters to make up for that. What we are going to try to do is start rotating the club around a little bit so everybody at least has a chance to come in person. And if you don't want to come in person, that's fine as well. Somebody will fill in your spot, but you'll at least have a chance. So starting in September, we're in September, starting in October, I'll start kind of putting a roster out there. And if you say you don't want to come, that's fine. Somebody will fill your spot, but you'll at least have a chance to come and enjoy a nice breakfast sandwich and things like that. So any questions, just let me know. There was only about, this was the first time I had to turn people away, but today there was about 4 that I had to they've been coming and they're giving other Zoom people a chance to come in. This was the first time that's happened. Yeah, you'll be on the roster, and then if you say you don't want to come, then I'll just fill you in with somebody that I know wants to come. So I'll base it on just a rotation where everybody gets a chance to come at least once versus just telling me you want to come. You'll actually be listed on there. So I haven't worked out all the logistics of it, but it'll be done by October. Okay. Tim is saying he's going to be in charge of it, so thank you so much. All right. All right. And last but not least, for club business, parrots. Do we want to cover parrot stuff right now? You can come up. We're going to get John up here to talk a little bit about parrots before parrots.
All right, good morning. I think we have slides somewhere. All right, sponsorship-wise, we're doing well. We're up to 13,000, a little over 13,000 on our sponsorships, and I've lost my slides. Oh, they're there. So doing very well with the sponsorships. We exceeded what I thought would be achievable in the short period of time that we were moving forward with parrots. So really appreciate the club stepping up and pushing this and getting the sponsors in here. So I know a lot of work was done to get that, and I do appreciate that. Next slide. Ticket sales are starting to move. We're up to 53 on the online tickets. I'm expecting a push today and tomorrow on the online, and I've had a lot of people that said they're going to be buying them at the gate. So I'm expecting.
Good morning, sweetie.
I'm sorry?
Do you want to tell somebody?
Sure.
Somebody's got an open mic out there that you might want to mute. But I'm expecting probably on the order of 75 to 100 people buying tickets at the gate. So right now we're on target to have about 300 people, 300 to 400 people is what I'm guessing at the event. The online auction is open. We've sent out a number of emails on how to reach it. Carla's actually put it out there on the DACDB page. As soon as you log in, you'll see the information on parrots and on the auction. We've got some really neat baskets out there. So if you haven't looked at those, please do. And if you see anything that you like on there, start bidding. Their bids are open right now. So Melissa and Catherine did a fantastic job pulling all those together, and again, put together some really nice baskets. I sent out a timing events this morning as far as on Saturday. I do have to go back and get with Tim McMicken on the gate times for folks that are working the gate. That's really about it. The tear downs, we're going to try to do that earlier this year because we've got to be out by Saturday night. So once the gates kind of closed from a standpoint of new people coming in, we'll at least break down that area, get that loaded up so that it's a little bit less to do at midnight, because I think most people don't want to go home, including me. So we'll just at the front gate area, we'll start tearing that down around 9 o'clock is what we're guessing. But we'll still have the rest of it to do at the end of the evening. So there'll be plenty to do. But I do appreciate everybody's help. And we'll see you all on Saturday night.
Hey, John, you still need volunteers for the front gate and the various things you sent out yesterday?
I did not check the sign up Genius this morning, so I'd have to check that. Tom Florence, are you on this morning?
No, he's not.
Okay, I will follow up, and if we still need some additional volunteer help, I will get a message out later this morning.
John, this is Bob. I got a question.
Sure.
I've had questions about are people required to wear their mask all the time in the gate? Now, I don't know what the layout, maybe you could quickly tell me what the layout is. Is the band going to be on the field?
No, the band is going to be on the concourse area. And as far as wearing the masks, it will be following the guidelines that the governor has set out from a standpoint of, yes, you do have to wear a mask going in. Once you've set up, if you are social distanced away from other people than people in your families, then no, you don't have to wear a mask. But we're very much following the guidelines that the governor has put out. Does that answer your question, Bob?
Not really. So I mean, they can take off their mask if they have social distancing out on the area where the band is. Is that correct?
Yes, because they'll be able to set up their chairs. They'll be also able to sit in the stadium seats if they want to sit down there. And as long as they are social distance, they can take off their mask within the guidelines that the governor has laid out in her proclamation.
One second, last question. What time do you want us there Saturday?
Between 5 and 5:15, and then we'll be hopefully getting a picture with the Rotarians that are there. Gates will open at 5:30. Band will start beginning at 6 o'clock.
All right, thank you.
Yep, and that's all in the email that we sent out there this morning. You should receive an email that has the timing of events. Also, the Parrots t-shirt, we're using the same one from last year. I know people ordered ones, and Bailey will be getting those out to folks that ordered those t-shirts. Any other questions?
Okay. And for the sake of time, if you do have questions and maybe you don't just want to ask them right now because we're running short on time, please email John, Tom, and they'll be glad to answer those. I do have one slide before we start our presenter, just to be fair. I'll skip these and save some of these for another day, what I was going to talk about. But Karen, it's your birthday coming up soon, so happy birthday, Karen Butler. I think your hubby just had a birthday a couple weeks ago, so happy birthday, Karen.
Thank you.
Catherine, you've been with us 1 year. I don't know if she's on the Zoom call. I can't believe it's only been 1 year, so I left it years because it seems like more than 1 year because you've done so much heavy lifting in your first year. So haven't seen you on there, Catherine, but thank you for being such an engaged Rotarian from early on.
Thanks, Peter. I'm actually here.
Oh, fantastic. So thanks. Thanks, Kat. We look forward to many more years in the club. And then Alec, I think you might be on there. You usually join us, but Alec is having a very special anniversary, 24 years with his wife, Shalane, on 9/14. So congratulations, Alex. If you didn't remember, here's your reminder. So, and then we'll go ahead and move over to our speaker. Karen is going to introduce her while I pull up your slides, Jennifer. Karen, if you don't mind.
Today, I'd like to introduce to you a good friend of mine, Jennifer Linton. She is the new Executive Director for the WEDC Foundation. This foundation was formed through the WEDC organization, which is the Women's Economic Development Group. We have several members and past members of Rotary that are on this board. Sheila is on the board with myself and Paula Cushman. And then, of course, with WEDC, we have very many members in Rotary that are part of the WEDC Foundation. You can read Jennifer's bio. It is very impressive. The thing I want to say about her, what an exceptional leader she has been, she came on, her really initial first date was 1st of January, and then the COVID hit. So she has really, you know, weathered through all this and done an exceptional job. So if you will give a warm welcome.
Thank you, Karen, and thank you all for letting me come and speak today, both in person and virtually. This is really nice. Let me get, let's see. So as Karen said already, and you all had the bio in the newsletter, but I am the new Executive Director of the WEDC Foundation, and I started this position in January when the former director retired. I am from Huntsville originally, and I grew up as an only child with a single mother. She struggled to make ends meet, but she did the best that she could to give me a step forward in life. Because of her selflessness and support, I worked hard. I graduated from Huntsville High School, class of 1998, and later with a degree from Mississippi University for Women. After college, I spent a decade living in a few states, got to visit the beach and the mountains and the deserts before coming back here in 2010. My mother, I don't have a daughter, my mother taught me the importance of volunteering, helping others and giving back. And I've kind of leaned into that, and I've been in the nonprofit world for about 9 years now. I love being part of the WEDC Foundation because I feel the organization helps women like my mother, like me, to take the steps to a better future. I value connections, and that is something I love about working for the foundation because I get to connect people and possibilities. So let me introduce you to the WEDC Foundation. Our vision is to significantly increase the number of women who are economically self-sufficient in North Alabama. And our mission is to empower women in our community to achieve self-sufficiency and economic independence by providing mentors, professional networking, development programs, and flexible financial assistance. So essentially, we strive to offer a hand up to women scholars so that they may discover and achieve their educational and professional goals. Karen shared a little bit of our history. We are a 501c3 nonprofit, and we were founded in 1998 by the Women's Economic Development Council. In our first year, we celebrated with 1 scholar. And since then, we've had over 180 scholars go through the program. And this July, that's of this July, we try to have up to 25 scholars participating annually. We are a separate organization from the WEDC. We both have our own boards, staff, budget, that kind of thing. But we do greatly value the WEDC as our founding partner and the support that they continue to give us. So as a nonprofit, of course, we have a board of directors. We have 17 wonderful women in the community, and you all know a few of these. They are a wonderful group of ladies that make the tough decisions to ensure that the foundation continues to thrive in the community. We also have mentor volunteers. They give up their time and energy to support the scholars in our program, which is truly the best part of the program. We had 8 new mentors join this year with new scholars, and we have a waiting list for future years. These are our scholars for this school year. We had 8 join us in July, chosen out of about 20 applicants back in the spring. Of these scholars, we have 7 graduating in December and 5 in May, which allows us to bring on up to 16 new scholars in 2021. Whoop. Sorry about that. I'm going to share a little bit about the foundation metrics. Like I said, we have 8 new scholars. We had 13 returning scholars. So right now we have 21 scholars in the program. We decided not to hit up to the 25 mark due to COVID. We wanted to make sure that we could support the scholars that are currently there, currently in the program. I guess not. That's okay. We can skip to the next one and I'll just explain that one. Of the scholars that we have, the fields of study that they are in, we have 1 in business, 3 in communications, 6 in education, 5 in health, and 6 in STEM or IT. We have a number of mechanical engineers, which is fantastic, and we try to really support those that are in STEM fields. We have represented schools. 6 are at Alabama A&M and at UAH. 5 are at Athens State and 4 are at Drake State. And then one thing we like to share is how many children are indirectly supported through our program. We have 14 children of our scholars. And so, you know, when our scholars achieve self-sufficiency, their children or future children will also benefit. And we hope, you know, breaking the cycle of poverty. So the picture that was on there that I think maybe gave us a little issue was of our May 2019 graduates. They were featured in the Scout Guide. And then we had this year, Event Magazine featured our 2020 graduates in their graduation issue. Is it open?
Open the right mark.
I'm glad I'm not doing that.
Let's try this one more time.
And we can try the next slide if that one's not. There we go. All right, fingers crossed. So that was the Scout Guide picture of our 2019 May graduates. I hope this works. And there is, yay, thank you. Our 2020, May 2020 graduates that were in Event Magazine. So how does a potential scholar apply for the program? First, they need to be eligible. Our program is open to women who live, work, and attend school in the North Alabama counties of Limestone, Madison, Marshall, and Morgan. They are eligible if they are currently enrolled in a 2-year or 4-year program at a SACS accredited university. If they are in a 2-year, they have to have 12 credit hours under their belts. And if they are enrolled in a 4-year, they have to have 24 hours. And we have these requirements because we want to know that they are committed to their schooling. And the logos are all the SACS accredited universities and colleges in the North Alabama counties. Further eligibility, they have to be 19 years or older. You know, we've had women up in 40 range that they had may have had a divorce and needed to go back to school to provide for their family. They must be a United States citizen and not already hold a bachelor's degree. This is only for associates and undergrad. They have to hold a cumulative GPA of 2.5 or greater and employed a minimum of 40 hours a month. And their household income must fall under 2.5 times the federal poverty level. If you know someone that fits into this criteria, the applications are online through our website, and they open in January and go through around April. And then we have the process of accepting their, all the items that they need to submit and undergoing interviews, which was quite interesting during this COVID time to do those interviews this year. So once they are accepted, they have requirements to fulfill each semester. They have to provide a proof of registration for the upcoming semester. We only give funds for fall and spring. We do not support summer semesters. So they have to have a proof of registration with 5+ credit hours. They have to supply their transcript from the previous semester with a GPA of 2.5 or greater and the 5 credit hours. And then they also provide their pay stubs showing that they have worked 10 hours a week or 40 hours a month. And internships also count towards this requirement. So how do our scholars benefit? They receive a number of benefits. They usually apply because of the flexible financial assistance. That's the $1,500 check each semester that they receive if they abide by all the requirements. Those funds are paid directly to the scholar, and they can be used towards school tuition, but they can also be used for personal expenses. So, books, car payments, childcare. We had this January, one of our scholars picked up her FFA check, and she was so excited because she was about to go put first and last month's rent down on a new house, a new rental. She had been living with her mother and her son in a rental that was it was a 2-bedroom. And so her mom and her son were sharing a room, and she had the other room so that she could have quiet time to study. It was not a great living situation. So she was so excited that she was getting a 3-bedroom, plenty of open, yard place for her son to play. So it was quite an exciting day for her. Each fall and spring, our scholars are also eligible for academic bonuses. I like to think of these as a monetary high five for getting good grades. So if they have a 3.5 to a 3.74, they receive a $100 check for that semester, and then a 3.75 to a 4.0, they get $200. Our scholars have access to professional development, workshops that we have quarterly, and networking opportunities. We try to prepare for her to put her best foot forward as a student and into the professional world. So our workshops are on areas like resume and interview skills, financial fundamentals. We have business etiquette and also self-care. Last, but as I mentioned earlier, is the most beneficial, at least from what our scholars share, is the mentoring program. So each scholar is assigned her own mentor. It's a wonderful benefit for encouragement and support. And our mentors are community volunteers who support their scholars throughout the time. So from the time they begin through the time that they graduate. We try to match them with similar fields, but sometimes it's a similar background or similar goals on how they match together. So our scholar support, in this unique year, we increased our support that we offer our scholars. We created the Scholar Emergency Fund. We realized that we didn't really have a way to support them during a time like COVID. So many of our scholars, they were out of jobs or their work hours lessened, and they needed more assistance than what little savings they had, because that was quickly gone. Thanks to a grant from the Community Foundation and to community donors, we were able to assist them during this time for things like HVAC repair, a car payment, food, diapers, just kind of whatever they needed to be able to get a little bit further and to continue school, paying for school both in the spring semester and the upcoming fall semester. We plan to continue this emergency fund even past COVID for future unexpected needs. We don't want an unexpected emergency event to stand in their way of being able to continue their schooling. In addition to the emergency fund, we connected them with resources in the community based on what issues or needs that they had, and also incorporated social service items in their quarterly workshops. For example, our last workshop, we had one of our scholar alums come and speak. She experienced domestic violence in her past and had become a coach for that. So the workshop was on financial fundamentals, and we tied her talk in there because finances are one of the #1 reasons somebody stays in that kind of environment. The workshops, of course, have moved to an online platform for the scholars, mentors, and board. During the first 4 months of the pandemic, our scholars received daily check-ins with motivation and support. So along with the resources and news that we tried to provide for them, they also received quotes and inspiration to just try to keep that energy and mindset up. And many of those are like the quotes we have on this PowerPoint that you may or may not have noticed. Not new to this year, but an ongoing tradition. Our scholars receive a pin like this one when they enter the program. And when she graduates, she receives a strand of pearls. We think of the pearls as nuggets of wisdom that she has gained on the way. And you know, it's really something that they look forward to receiving and feel accomplished with, besides just their being able to graduate. So I want to share with you about one of our current scholars and the perseverance that she had to stay in school, in the program, and to graduate this coming December. At the end of 2019, Sydney had lost her car and had racked up a lot of fees with the university. She began substitute teaching with the Huntsville City Schools, working to get her 2 children from Madison to daycare before class. And she was using rental cars to do that. So she was only able to substitute teach when she had funds for the rental cars. She took the spring semester off to try to refocus, to save money, and to study for her praxis, which she had to take in order to finish her degree. Besides transportation and funds, the praxis, of course, stood in her way. Her mentor and I did what we could to assist with transportation and work, but she was emotionally distraught. Her mentor was there with calls and check-ins. Her mentor recently, and you know, her background is very similar to Sydney's, but she had family to help her along the way, and Sydney does not have that. So that's one of the reasons why she's really pushing as a mentor to support her. So when COVID came, of course, substitute teaching was out the window. Sydney did not stop. She persevered, she studied and fought to get on her feet. In July, she took the praxis and she passed it. When she called me, she said, "If it feels this good, I can only imagine what graduation will feel like." She has since been able to work on an arrangement with her university to cover the fees and was able to enroll in her final semester, which is an internship. She bought herself a car, which was great. And she is really just running towards that day that when she gets to graduate to do what she loves. Her goal after all of this, and on top of proudly wearing those pearls, is to come back as a WEDC Foundation mentor and help a scholar that was just like her. So, how are we funded? Our annual budget is about $282,000 a year. We receive funds through individual donations and community support. We have additional fundraisers like Drive for Your Community that Woody Anderson Ford holds for us. That was not possible this year, thanks to COVID, but we may have a virtual possibility in the next few months. We shall see. We also have the possibility for legacy giving and endowments. We apply for grants and other corporate donations and receive WEDC member donations. When the WEDC meets, they have a table and people will donate to the tree fund. And those dollars go towards the scholars purchasing a dress for our in-person Women Honoring Women events. And speaking of Women Honoring Women, that is our signature fundraiser. It recognizes prominent women leaders in our community. Through the event sponsorships and donations, we can in turn support our scholars and create the leading women of tomorrow. And this event is in its 19th year. Of course, we had to go virtual. Instead of honoring new honorees this year, we decided to recognize some former honorees. We didn't want new honorees to miss out on the same experience as those in the past. So we had a group of wonderful women step up, and they are now called doyens. And a doyen is a woman knowledgeable or uniquely skilled as a result of long experience in some field or endeavor. She is a confident leader who possesses seniority, leadership, and poise. So we have a goal to reach 100,000 for this year. Thanks to Women Honoring Women last year, we were able to maintain the foundation financially during COVID, and we are hoping to have that continue persevering with the funds that we received this year. And we are almost to the 70,000 mark, and we are hoping to reach the goal by the night of. So these, okay, perfect. These are our full plans. They so kindly share their stories and why they continue to support the foundation and women in our community in their interviews that you'll be able to hear if you tune in the night of. We'll also hear from some of our scholars and mentors during the virtual event. So how to support the 2020 Women Honoring Women event. We are still accepting sponsorships and individual donations. The QR code on the left, if you're facing it, takes you to our website, and that is where you can access that kind of information. Lastly, if you would like to tune in and share the event, it's happening September 17th at 6:30, and it's going to premiere on our Facebook page or on our YouTube channel. And the QR code on the right goes to the Facebook page. You don't have to be a Facebook user to watch the event. You can just go to our Facebook page through Google and be able to tune in at 6:30 on September 17th. And if you are Facebook savvy and you want to create a watch party with your friends, or you want to share it to your personal or business page, feel free. We're just trying to create a buzz and to reach the goal that we have. So this is information. If you have any questions or want to reach out, if you know of any potential mentors or scholars, feel free to contact me. And then if you all have any questions.
So are there any questions for Jennifer? Do they have to study any specific career path?
They do not. We, as long as they're going for an associate's or undergrad, we take care of them.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Jennifer? Thank you, Jennifer, for
yes.
great
Thank
talk.
y'all. Appreciate it.
All right. If you have any questions, please chat them in. I think we have time for another question or two. If not, Jennifer will probably be here for a minute or so if anybody on this side has any questions. Before I forget, Jennifer, just a small token of appreciation for coming. Yeah, 2 tickets to Parrots over here in case there's anything going on with this Saturday. Bring your mask in your lawn chair. All right. Anything else before we close with the 4-way test? John, any words of wisdom?
Peter,
Yes.
I've got one thing. Just for, if anybody's interested, tomorrow night at Toyota Field, the Wounded Warrior amputee softball team is playing. I think gates open at 5:30, and there are autograph opportunities, and then the game starts at 7. So they're called the USA Patriots now, but it's the Wounded Warriors that have been here the last several years.
Okay, thanks, Mark. Anything else?
I do have
Yes,
one
okay.
comment. Tell Jennifer hello from an MSCW graduate.
She heard you, Cynthia? So the hello has been sent. Okay, anything else before we close with the 4-way test? All right. Please stand. of the things we think, say, or do. First, second, third, and fourth. Be beneficial to all concerned. Thank you all. Have a great Thursday. See you Saturday.